Harriet just texted me before we started rolling, saying, Sean, would you like to start watching Dr. Foster with me? I messaged back going, no. What the fuck am I going to watch Dr. Foster for? Hello, you are here for another fantastic GLG broadcast. Broadcasting straight from this table. It's a lovely table. Makes me feel like I should have dinner in front of me. Like coq au vin, some rice, some asparagus, just eating.
Well, sorry, I couldn't produce pizza every single video. We've done that once. I can't, you know. It's always got something to moan about.
I was just saying, I'm clearly hungry. And I'm clearly called Sean Davis as well.
And I am Jason Lovell.
What are we doing today?
Right, today we're going to be reviewing the last month in gaming. So we're going to be talking about gaming news.
Sorry for podcast listeners, that's going to hurt their ears a bit, that clanking.
And we're going to be talking about what we've been playing. So without further ado, what news item would you like to bring up?
You know from before this, I haven't got much to talk about in the way of news because I seem to keep reading retrospective articles on old games. However, there was one thing I've read about yesterday/today. The previews have come in for South Park, The Butthole Truth.
Yes, okay.
I was a big fan of A Stick of Truth. It was just so good. It was just an RPG, turn-based RPG, but it was just funny.
I never played it.
And it wasn't like rubbish humour. It was obviously good South Park humour, but it would riff on all the games. It was just I like the old turn-based style of game, so I really enjoyed it.
I've heard, and you can maybe confirm this, that the first game, Stick of Truth, has been described as the best South Park episode ever. Apparently it's hilarious. It's absolutely brilliant.
The Warcraft episode, but
the Warcraft
episode
the
South Park.
PlayStation one. Is that the one?
The Warcraft episode South Park. But they actually,
no, I know what you mean. Where the dad comes in.
Oh yeah, but no, the game is great, and the Butthole Truth is the previews are really good. They say it's like 10 times bigger than Stick of Truth. There's more modding because the best thing about the Stick of Truth was the joke always is in RPGs the armor you get doesn't match, but you've got to have the best power on that, so they play on that, and collecting armor is the best thing really. They've enhanced that, but they've gone so risky. One of the news items I read was that they obviously go for religion because Trey Parker and Matt Stone like to do that, and there's you fight priests that pull rosary beads out their ass and hit you with poo-flecked rosary beads,
as you do. And
even more controversially, and I think it's clever as how. When you create your avatar and you create your South Park character, the darker your skin tone you make your character, the more susceptible they are to being set upon by people. And I think they probably get because the fights are generated when you're walking through the streets. They probably get involved in more fights. Bless them.
So, run that by me. How? What end of the scale do you get attacked more?
I think if you're black, you're going to get attacked more. Okay. Where they going with this? You know where they're going with this.
Yeah, they don't hold back, do they?
I think it's clever, and unfortunately. It's good that a game has been previewed, because previews happen all the time in the gaming world, as we know from looking at our websites and watching YouTube and whatnot. Yep. But this has actually created a news story from a preview.
That's good.
It was on the NME website. I actually read it. I was on the NME website getting my music news, and there it was. Like, whoa!
I did see it flag up earlier.
It's everywhere.
I was reading Polygon and.
NME, Polygon.
No, I was going to say. I was about to say to you, Polygon. Quickly, it's the only website that gets through our filters at work. So that's why Polygon has become my website of choice.
But that's my news story. I think it's kind of convinced me to buy the game. I'm gonna.
I never played the first one. Like I said, it's one of those that's been on my list for so long.
I just can't believe I played it. It's just
I need to read.
So
I need to read it. I need to play it.
Read the hell out of it.
I need to read the script.
But no, that's me. What about you?
I've actually literally just thought of another news item, but at the same time. But the thing I wanted to bring up, which I know is going to bring a groan from your lips and a roll of the eyes, Sean Davis,
try not to,
is that Rockstar have announced that LA Noire is getting remastered.
What the fuck are they remastered LA Noire for?
Because it's awesome.
Yeah, but there's so many other games that should be remastered.
Wait, it's getting remastered for the, I believe for the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's going to be available in 4K for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And this is the most interesting point. It's going to be released on the Nintendo Switch.
Everything's on the Switch. but it wasn't a graphically amazing game anyway.
That's not true.
It wasn't.
Did you say it wasn't?
Really?
The faces were amazing.
You're okay.
I know they were a little bit jarring because the head looked like it was going to fall off the body.
The eyes was dead.
But
it
was that was the big
the
selling
game
point.
itself was a bit of a flop. It wasn't a huge game.
I would say it was very Marmite. I think there's enough people that liked it.
They're going to charge £25 for that.
Yeah, probably. But there's another part to the story.
It's getting worse, is it?
It's going to support VR. Apparently, 7 or 8 of the original cases that you work within the original game have been, let's say, redesigned to incorporate VR. Now, I can see how it would work because because of the whole pick up an item and twist it that way. Twist it that way. Twist it that way. Twist it that way. Oh, there's something on the bottom. I did it. Whose mug was this? Best dad in the world. #1 dad. Daddy! but it's that sort of mechanic. So, although, if you get that in a modern game, you think, oh, God, this mechanic does my head in. But you can see how in VR it would work. It's but also, like I said, the facial animations were very impressive because obviously they were captured, weren't they? Like they were mocapped. And a big part of the selling point of the game was that you were supposed to be able to read facial reactions.
Do you want to stop this vlog now and just go and play it? You clearly fucking love it.
I do love it.
You talk about it all the time.
Well, I don't talk about it all the time. I talk about it when there's relevant news to talk about.
Clearly, in this instance, isn't there?
But part of the big part of the game was the sort of facial. Was reading the facial expressions of the characters to determine whether they were telling the truth during the interview stages. So again, that will work in VR because look, what you can understand is like we talked about this briefly before we came on air, but
on air,
VR is a strange platform because it's obviously, for me, I've tried it at Comic-Con in London and it was impressive, but then for me they're never going to be able to replicate core gaming because you can't move around properly in VR games. That's the problem. So for me, this game with those levels redesigned, it has mechanics within that game that will work in a VR setting. Like Fallout, for example, Fallout 4, they're gonna release that or put VR support in it.
That'd be good.
But again, for me, it's like, but then I've got to use a controller to move around. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not that I don't want that, but it's like, but then it's still not VR. The whole point of VR is immersion, isn't it? And how am I going to get immersed in something when I'm still using a controller? Basically, and I mean this with no disrespect, but I basically feel like I'm Stephen Hawking. Well, not Stephen Hawking because he can't press the buttons, can he? But like somebody's pressing a lever to move a wheelchair around, isn't it? Because that's how you move around. Yeah, but he uses his eyes, doesn't he? That's the next step. That's how they do it. That's how they're going to address movement. You've got to do the old.
Yeah, could he give us his tech?
He could. Stephen Hawking's selfish.
Really selfish.
Selfish. I have redesigned VR for you.
He'd be a gaming icon.
He would.
More 7 years already.
He would. He would be like the new Hideo Kojima.
He would be the new Hideo Kojima. Less mobile Hideo Kojima, but...
So there we go. So that's a bit of news that I brought. The other bit quickly that I want to touch on, which I suddenly thought of, we've not talked about this at all. So I don't know if you picked up on it. This is actually a couple of weeks old, so
news.
Sue me. But did you see the guy? I don't know his name, but he used to work for Valve, and he released online the script that was put together for the episode 3 of Half-Life 2.
No, I didn't read that.
He put that on there, and it was quite funny because I guess to avoid any kind of repercussions, they changed all the names. So like I can't remember I can't remember the full name, but like they changed it to from Gordon Freeman to like Gertrude something like Fremont or something like that. They changed it to a woman, but it was quite clearly Half-Life 3. Now I haven't read the script yet, but apparently it's really good.
Parts 1 and 2 were good.
Yeah, they were good, and I don't understand why.
That was great DLC.
Yeah, but why is this? Why do you think that Valve just decided not to bother doing the third one? Because it's been 10 years now since episode 2 came out.
Maybe more.
It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, number 2 is so good.
But I think I mean I've listened to other podcasts and read websites that they theorise that it's because they feel like they can't ever better what they did before, which I think is a bizarre
Half-Life is unbelievable.
Yeah, you've got to complete the story. I mean, yeah, the third and trilogies normally suck. That's just a fact of life. But usually, let's be honest, it's not nothing's certain in life. But you can have percentages, and percentages are the trilogy. Third one in the trilogy normally ends up poorer than the ones that came before. But I just don't understand why.
Yeah, well, I think it will come out eventually. Something's got to give, and it always does give.
I wonder whether it's just because Valve their focus is more on Steam now. That's become their cash cow, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's their
they
thing.
get a bit of money out of Half-Life 3 though.
Oh, God,
package up a big, or just do a remaster of Half-Life 1. So good.
Yeah.
Still looks good.
You're right.
In my head. Still looks good in my head. Good news from you.
Thanks.
No news is good news. That was good news.
That's a little bit of news that we've touched on there.
I like this whole table thing. I never usually knew how to do my hands during a vlog.
There we go.
Noodling with my beard, but here I'm just like, I like it.
Interesting. It gives you some support.
Sorry, podcast. This is again a rattling. I'm just bashing podcast. This is ears in.
Exactly. So,
right.
What have you been playing, Sean?
Fuck. Lots of stuff.
That makes a change.
Yeah, I know. I completed Donkey Kong Country. You probably saw our video.
You played that from start to finish.
Donkey Kong Country. Lose that. You what?
You played it from start to finish.
I did. Thank you. Yeah, start to finish. And as you saw from my Gerhard level, it isn't as hard as it was. The hard level is a platform, and the minecart level, as you saw, wasn't that hard. Loved it. I'm on a Super Nintendo mission to play. I did a poll, really successful poll, to play, and everyone voted my next game to be Super Mario World. But before that, I had to play Super Metroid. So I played Super Metroid. I've got 3/4 of the way through it, and I've had to stop. Walkthroughs won't help me because it's so complicated. It's labyrinthian, the levels are. Okay. It's like a sandbox game.
Right.
It's clearly an amazing game. I've spent hours playing it. I put it down now. I don't think I'll ever complete it. It's hard, but I love it. Super Metroid. You haven't played Super Metroid, have you?
I don't know. It's one of those I may have played like brief. I've never played it to the point that like I can remember
the music.
It that well.
I want to get the music on Spotify to listen to.
I think I did play it. I got a funny feeling.
It's amazing. So on my next gen console, but it was previous gen.
Let me ask you a random question. When you jump on Super Metroid, what happens? Does he just jump up or does he spin when he jumps?
You got to earn the spin.
So I think I've played it because I've got that vision.
You've got to earn the spin. It's really hard. You've got to bob and oh my god, it's such a hard game. Right, I regret quitting it, and it's actually I think I've a bit of autism. It's messing my head up a bit that I didn't complete it. I can't. It's too hard. I don't know where to go. Okay. Next up, I've completed Uncharted 2. Really good.
Uncharted 2 was amazing.
Really good. And I'm playing Uncharted 3, the remaster. It's really good.
That's all we've got to say about it.
What can you? You're on a rail pretty much. Climb, duck cover, shoot.
Yeah, but it's look.
The banter is good. The dialogue's amazing.
Uncharted for me is the little details that Naughty Dog put into those games. Like when you have to go, so you're in a cave and you've got to go to a crack, and the way that it seamlessly changes the animation to your feet. And I can't remember whether it was Half-Life 3 or 4, but I can remember little things like when you ran over to, what did I say?
Half-Life. You've got Half-Life.
Oh, sorry, Uncharted 3 or 4. Sorry. And when you ran over to the wall, like Nate puts his hands out and actually,
he does all
do you know what I mean?
And he says little thing, and when you walk around playing, the banter with Sully, I don't think I ever hear recycled dialogue.
No,
they have like back and forth into going. If you go to a certain area, when you're trying to find a hole in a roof, it prompts you to say something, and he says it. The details are amazing. So I really enjoyed that. Uncharted 3 is good so far. They've got a bit of a brawl thing going on. They really want to boast about. So a bit of focus on hand-to-hand combat.
Have you done the pub bit?
That's the first bit, isn't it?
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I like that because it felt close to home. Because it's like
obviously showing off a fight mechanism.
Yeah.
And I'm still entrenched in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I'm probably a couple of days into that. I'm playing it a lot. That's it really. So good mix of game. I'm loving the Super Nintendo stuff at the moment.
Super Nintendo was a great console.
I'm really enjoying it. I've now completed Super Metroid. Completed my time and I've moved on to Super Mario World. Still really hard.
Are you going to buy a Super NES Mini?
No, I emulate.
The point is there.
No. We're real gamers. That's what people
like.
I remember having a Super NES in the parents. That's I emulate.
Yeah, we didn't have one. Now this is our time to have a Nintendo.
I keep my shit. I emulate and I like doing that. I like playing on my laptop.
Speaking of Nintendos.
Ooh.
Speaking of Nintendos. Now I did tweet out about this. I don't think we mentioned it in any of the videos.
Nope.
But for my 33rd birthday on the 11th of August, received from my beautiful wife a Nintendo Switch.
Good present.
That's a good wife. You know, she done well there. I told you before on one of the old videos how she's bought me a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3.
She's done well.
Xbox 360.
If she asked you to watch Dr. Foster, bloody watch it with
her.
her.
I'll do it.
Bloody watch it with her. She deserves it.
I'll watch it with her because I can sit and play the Nintendo Switch while she's...
No, you got to watch it. Apparently it's good.
So, I got to say, like, first of all, I address the console itself. I am genuinely impressed with this console. It really does what the adverts said it would do.
Don't want to make it look a knob on the vlog, but have you played it on the big screen yet? Because the way you were talking, it sounds like you only play it handheld.
No. I definitely played it on the screen.
Fine, that's right.
But the thing is, for me, is that it's what the Nintendo gives me over the other consoles I have is the ability to game during periods where I wouldn't normally be able to game. Like when I'm sat with my missus and she's watching terrible television.
I'm worried you're missing out on Zelda on the big screen.
How am I missing out on it?
Beauty, apparently.
But it's beautiful.
I played it on your handheld. It was obviously really fun, but big screen.
It looks good on the small screen as well. I don't think it's too big a deal.
It's looking out for your well-being.
Looking
out for you.
But yeah, so the fact that like I mean, it's honestly so impressive. I mean, I went to take my daughter to swimming lessons today, and while she was having the lessons, me and my boy sat at the swimming centre, the Olympiad, Chippenham, with playing Mario Kart.
You got Mario Kart, have you?
Yeah, I got Mario Kart 8 as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so we took the Joy-Cons off the side, turn them around, flip them so they go from being one controller to two controllers, and we sat playing Mario Kart. I destroyed him. He told me he was good at Mario Kart. I was like, if you're good, there ain't a word from me, mate.
Please.
So I destroyed him on that.
Nice.
But
get self-esteem.
But yeah, so and obviously, you know, then you can put it into the controller dock so that you can play it like you say on the big screen, or you can put them on the side and just use it as a handheld.
It does a really good. Well, I've played it.
It's really impressive, mate. I've got to be honest. I've not even purchased the Pro Controller yet, just because they're so expensive.
What? That's for when you actually play.
That's like a proper game controller. You know, because you can put the Joy-Cons into the dock to make it into a controller, but it's still a bit weird because it's like a big square front fascia on it. Because the two Joy-Cons are obviously like a square shape.
Yeah.
They fit in, so it works, but it's not the best controller you'll ever use. So it's functional, and you know, I can play the game with it, not a problem. But I think if you were playing it as your core console, you would want a proper game controller.
It looks good. Zelda, particularly, I liked when I played it.
Well, so the games I've got for it so far, I've got 4 games for it. To be honest, Zelda is the game that I play the most on it, so I'll explain more on that in a minute. But I've also got a couple of games that really were bought for the kids. I mean, when I opened up the games for my birthday, the first one I opened was Splatoon 2, and I was like, I've never even talked about Splatoon 2. And I looked at my boy and I was like, isn't this a game you wanted? He was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah.
He stood
and I mean, he knew I wanted Zelda, so he played a good hand for himself, but that didn't help me, so I'll remember that next time he...
Did you have to go get Zelda, did you?
Yes, I by myself. So I was bought a Nintendo Switch about Zelda. So, but you know, I'm not going to complain too much. So, but Noah will end up. I hope Noah knows that he'll be getting like a man-sized topless shirt for Christmas.
Yeah,
and I'll be wearing it. So, Zelda is sorry, not Zelda. The other games I was going to talk about first. So I got 1-2 Switch, which in all honesty is a terrible game.
What is it?
It's basically, for me, a party game which showcases what you can do with a Nintendo Switch.
Standard.
Because I didn't realise, to be honest with you, when I got the Nintendo Switch, that the Joy-Cons were actually motion sensors as well.
Yeah.
Like the Wii controllers. Not as much to it, but they actually enable you to sort of play the sort of Wii games. So it's basically just like a party game where you're basically using the Joy-Cons to sort of like do something on screen, like sword fighting and stuff like that. But why I think it's rubbish is it's not like the Wii, where you would look on the screen and you would see 2 people with swords. It's like just like a photo of 2 people like that with swords, and then you just go, you just shake it, and it makes loads of noises, and then afterwards it has like a simulated picture thing where it goes stir, miss, 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 miss. It's really weird. I'm not a fan of it. The kids like it though, so from that perspective, in the sense of buying something for the kids, they like it. So it's not a waste of money. But for me, it's like I don't really get any enjoyment out of it, so it's not for me. Like I said, I also got Splatoon 2. Which
I played that. It was good.
It's fine, but it's an online shooter, which I don't think is going to steal away the time that I would play other things.
It's attractive.
You know, it's
colourful.
I'm not going to lie, I found it very hard. So I think that's part of the reason why it put me off. Is, you know, it's like I don't have a lot of time to play as it is. I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to learn how to play this game. But I will have another go at it. It's good fun. There was a single player mode on it, which was actually probably more fun for me. I actually preferred that. So Splatoon 2, you know, it's hard for me to have too much of a comment on it at this point, but we will report back later on when I've played it more. I've also got, like I said, Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8, it's Mario Kart, but it's Mario Kart at its best. It really is a good game. I enjoy it. It's the sort of game that when you've got 10 minutes to spare, you pick it up and blast the game out on it.
There's single player though, don't things.
Yeah, you can play single. Oh, this is what I like about it more than old other Mario Kart games, is the fact that it is online.
Yeah.
I've never had a Mario Kart game before where I can play online against other people, and they are bloody good online. It is hard. I don't win any races online.
Do you ever? Oh wow, that'd be so good.
But it's good, so you can have a go on it. We'll try it out. So there's not a lot to say about Mario Kart. I don't just want to brush over it, but it is Mario Kart. It is what it is. It's good fun. And then finally Zelda, which I knew I wanted to play it. I could see it was attractive.
It's game of the year already, isn't it? It's going to be game of the year.
It's definitely
already.
one of the game of the years. And I am surprised at how much I do like it.
What is it? Is it like Ocarina of Time? It's the last
played
Zelda game I played.
I never played it. I've literally never played a Zelda game before in my life.
Oh right, man.
So, and it's not because I don't like Zelda. It's just because we said before, I very rarely owned Nintendos. I think the only Nintendos I've owned in the past was a GameCube, which it probably did have Zelda games on it, but I tended
Twilight Princess.
just play like Star Wars on it, because Star Wars Rogue Squadron was amazing. That game was ace.
It was good.
It was good. And I had the first Wii, which again I just used for playing with other people. It wasn't something I sat and played on my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I obviously never played a Zelda before this one, so I didn't really have much of a comparison to ex-Zelda games. I know nothing. I know a little bit about story and stuff because I've written articles where I've had to sort of research a bit of Zelda. So, you know, that's come up. That's no plug before you say anything. I'm not going to mention any articles, but I have. So, yeah, I knew I wanted to play the game, and it's really, really good.
Shit.
I really enjoy it. I mean, it's very. I think what I like about it more than anything is it's not like anything else that I currently play. It's not. I mean, obviously, it is like a open world fantasy game.
Yeah.
But it's the sort of the cartoon aesthetics to it, and the way that it sort of I've always had a soft spot for the games. I don't know why, that use text for speech.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, like the old Final Fantasy games, where it's sort of like reading a book, isn't it? You put your own character into personality into the character.
I'm always up for that. I hate to listen to because I love it.
And with Zelda, it's kind of a weird blend between the two. Like when it's the cutscenes, a character will talk fully voiced. But then when you approach them just through the open world, it just comes up with like text.
Hack slash, bow and arrows.
But like some of the mechanisms are brilliant on it. Like the weapons degrade as you use them, so you have to be very sort of careful and plan what weapons you're going to use, because you like in sort of like average skirmishes, you think, well, I'll use the crap ones because I don't want to use my like super sword. I'll save that.
Can you not fix them?
I don't think you can. I mean, I could be wrong. I've not come across any way to fix them, but at the moment, I don't know. There probably is. But I've just probably not found that mechanism. I've only just figured out.
Have you got your own base to base yourself from and pick your weapons and?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, but you do go around and you can set up camps in places, and you can have a campfire. And you can you literally cook food. Like you take the food, you put it in this like cauldron over the fire, and you cook it, and you can use it to replenish your health. But also there are certain recipes that you make that will give you temporary abilities, like what I like is if you go up into the mountains, it's cold and it kills you. So I think one way that to survive that is to find or purchase better clothing. Right. But there is a recipe for like a like hot food that will basically keep you warm and stuff like that. So it's little things like that. I'm really digging it. I really do enjoy it, and like I said, it's a perfect game that I play for an hour while she's watching like Hobby City or MasterChef or something like that, and I sit and play on it. Nice. So yeah,
but you need to put a big screen somewhere.
I have done, but you know, apart from that, the only other things I've been playing is obviously I dropped a video about the Call of Duty World War II beta. You might as well go and watch that video if you want to have my full thoughts. But in a nutshell, it was a very, very good beta. I thought it really did show that Sledgehammer have listened to the complaints of Call of Duty and implemented them. It's very much, I know this is the overused phrase, but it's not flying around crap anymore. It's boots to the ground. It's gone back to old school, running around, finding positions, holding those positions, those choke points on the map, you know, very much that free lane system of, you know, free ways to get from one side of the map to the other, finding those areas, holding them down. Graphically, it could be better, if I'm honest with you. Like, it does not compare to Battlefield. Battlefield is incredible visually, and same with Battlefront. Those games look the nuts, and more so than the graphics that are up close, the backgrounds. Like, you look in the distance and it's like there's a war going on. There is something going on in the background. Like Star Wars, you look into space and you see the dogfights going on. It's incredible. So yeah, graphically, I don't know whether it's going to be better on the final release, but it should be. But I'm not saying that we've gone back to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare era, but it's certainly the best Call of Duty for me personally, since
Black Ops 2.
No, I think it's better than Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 1.
No, Modern Warfare 3, I'd say.
Modern Warfare 3 was a bit gash.
It was just Modern Warfare 3 was Modern Warfare 2 light, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Modern Warfare 2, okay, let's say since Modern Warfare 2, that'd be like. But that'd do. The only other game I've been playing is, I did mention this on the last
you were talking me through what it was, weren't you?
Yes, I have started Wolfenstein: The New Order, which I said I was going to do.
This is one before a new one's coming out this
This
year.
is the first of the reboot with this new Wolfenstein, and it is. It's not blown me away. It's not like a game that I've gone, oh my god, this is amazing. But it is very old school in a sense. It does not take itself seriously.
It's first person shooter.
It's it reminds me of. Did you ever play the Metro games?
No, I should really.
It's Metro those sort of games where they're good. They're very good games. They're not great games, not amazing games, but they are solid, good games to play when you're in between the top games. One thing I find very odd about it is there's something odd about the movement. I don't know whether it's because I bought a crap controller, because I bought a new controller which is corded. I showed it to you last time. It is to save myself 20 quid. I didn't get the official controller, but I'm not convinced it's the best controller in the world. But it almost feels like there's a slight delay in my movement. Do you know what I mean? Like if you press the stick, it doesn't feel like press the stick like that. It feels like you press the stick and then there's and it feels odd. It feels odd. It almost feels like there's something wrong with the feel of it. And I've tried with moving the sensitivity around. It doesn't seem to help. You kind of get used to it, but I kind of feel like I shouldn't need to get used to it. It should be right, especially considering that this is a 3-year-old game. I would expect this to have been patched by now, that it works properly. So I don't know. So that's made me feel a little bit concerned about the sequel, which I'm really looking forward to. That it's not gonna be as good, and maybe I'm getting a bit prematurely excited about the sequel because I'm basing it on a trailer which had a cool moment in it. So, but then that's what we do, isn't it? You know, that's what trailers are for. Get your interest.
Get you jazzed.
So that's all I've been playing. Nintendo Switch is probably what I've been playing the most. I've not touched the PS4 all month, and I've still got Hitman sat there. But that's going to be my sort of, because that's not really, it's mission based. I can literally just put it down and then play a mission. Next time I'm bored, and I've still got to touch Life is Strange because I started that and then just kind of stopped. So I've got a lot of games. I've broken my own rules. Normally I'm like a one game man and complete it. But I've got loads of games running at the same time. But hey, it gives us more to talk about
I'm starting to do that more
on the vlog and podcast.
Vlog. What's wrong with me?
So that's it then. We've gone for so long, made them tired. So we'll wrap that up. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.
Yes.
So that's the end.